my channel, my channel, my content, my channel, my content, my channel, my content.
Happy Monday, guys.
Hello, hello. What's going on there, Corey?
Happy Monday, yeah.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you been?
Not bad, not bad. Just working away, getting shit done. You know, same day, same thing, different day. You know, never ends.
It is. It's exciting though, right?
Yeah. So we'll just wait to see that everybody can hear us. We'll get a thumbs up on audio.
Okay. I can hear you fine. See you fine.
Well, sorry about that. I mean, you know, let's see.
I got a little gray working here too myself, man. It's,
Yeah, it's like shit. I've been gray for a while.
I just started getting hair.
So, we almost got confirmation.
Okay.
Exotic. Let's see. Yep. All good. We got the thumbs up. So let's rock and roll.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Yeah. So everyone doesn't know this is Corey DeLong from CD Constrictors. He's got some awesome stuff. I've made several purchases from you.
Crazy clown
It's awesome.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Trying.
yeah, you're doing awesome. So let's get a little bit of a story. How long you been doing this?
Started in 2012 collecting, and formed my LLC in 2013. So 9 years, 9 and change.
Okay.
So yeah.
And slow off the start. When did it really pick up? What did you do or notice? Was there something that you did or something that made you get to where you are now? Because the last few years you've just blown up.
Yeah, it started out slow. My son wanted a ball python, and I really had no experience, with reptiles or anything like that. I had birds, I had macaws, Amazons, stuff like that
wow.
that I raised. So that was interesting and took a lot of work. But yeah, when we got that and the shop where I had, got some of my animals from, birds and supplies and stuff like that, he was pretty knowledgeable, ball pythons, and he showed me, the first thing that kind of turned me on was, oh, you can make a blue-eyed Lucy. I saw a white snake, just like everybody else probably, when they start out, it's like, oh, that's really cool, So that was like, okay, well, let me order the ingredients for that, and that's how it started out. And from there, it just took off. I won't say I always made the wisest purchases, to start out with, probably like everybody else. But, slowly but surely, I got there and took a little bit of school of hard knocks, shall we say, so probably like everybody else. But finally, I think in about 16 or 17, it really I started to take it really, really serious and thought, I could really make a go at this and turn this a hobby, passion, and into a living. So, that's what I went for.
Awesome. And and where you're sitting now, that's your new office, right?
This is my office, yeah. So this used to actually be, this is the third bedroom, now the office. And so this used to be where all the ball pythons were.
That's where the magic started.
That's where some of the magic started, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, made my first clowns in here, and, it's pretty cool. So, yeah. Moved out to the garage a few years later, and then expanded that. In 2019, I set up in my shop where I am currently.
Awesome. I love it. I love hearing it. I mean, it's just, and the thing about it, you're 9 years in, and
yes.
Seriously, the last 4 years is when it's like, okay, now I'm taking it serious. Now I'm up in the game, and you regret that? You regret it at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. I probably like everybody else, I wish I'd fell into it sooner, just it wasn't in my radar at all until, I saw that at the local shop that I went to, and just kind of spurred me on. And I thought it was cool from the beginning, but I never thought that I could make a living, doing what I do now. Until maybe 2016, 2017. That's when I started to notice, okay, this is a significant income, and if I plan my projects right going forward, I think I could make something out of this. So
I love that word, plan. I fucking plan. You don't just fucking buy animals and just throw them together. You need a plan.
You need a plan. And I started seeing some really cool stuff, and I think in 2015 and 2016 is when I really started, putting some money out and investing into purchasing some higher end animals that got my collection to where, some of the females that I made back then in 2016, 2017, they went for me last year and going for me this year. And so, yeah, it takes some vision, and it doesn't happen overnight, but, you have to be, this is a game of patience. There's not a sprint, it's a long haul.
Yeah,
so
no, definitely.
Buckle down, and, there's still some projects that I'm looking at now that, it seems like 3 or 4 years might be a long time, but when I look back, 9-10 years has flown by. So, the next 3 or 4 years, working some projects that I'm interested in, seems like a long time right now, but I know that's going to go by really fast.
Yeah, it does. It really does fly by. It's crazy.
Yeah. And, because I think we enjoy it so much, the time just doesn't matter, but when you look at it on a calendar and see, oh, it's going to take me 3 or 4 years to get to this, like I say, it seems like a long time, but it's really not.
But it also takes you 3 to 4 years the minute you decide to do it. It's if you wait 2 years to do it, now it's fucking 6 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
You want to have that shit in your rack now growing up and deal with it with, no one's ever going to say it's like, oh, fuck, I got these 3 gene pied heck clown females that are ready to breed. Like, fuck, man, I'm in such a shitty situation. It's never going to happen. Right. And if it does, you have some serious issues. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it's having those. And like you said, you enjoy it day to day. You get to grow them up and feed them and see them and appreciate them and use them to take pictures on your social media feed and have everyone else drool.
I'm not huge, in social media. I do a post, a couple times a week and, do some stories here and there. But, this is a big part of my life, but there's other aspects to life too, And I'm not on social media a lot, to be honest. I could have more of a presence there, but, I'm just not technologically that savvy to spend the time, to do a show like you're doing. That's just not in my wheelhouse, I guess.
Right. And it's not everybody's. I mean, not everybody has to do this. But another thing, too, is social media. It's a that's another fucking part-time, full-time job, man. It's to do it right. Yeah, it's a lot.
Imagine what you get on your end, because I know for me sometimes, the messages and the texts and the emails, just one person doing it myself, and on a small scale like I'm doing it compared to some of the larger breeders, it gets overwhelming for one person at times. So I can appreciate what you guys, larger breeders are going through and managing on a daily basis.
Or trying to manage.
Trying to manage. Okay,
trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're doing a good job
I'm putting effort in. Sure. Holy shit. There's people that message me. I'm trying to get a hold of you. It's like, where? On this platform? And I go look and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I got to dig deep and go through all the stuff to find them. And it's crazy. Right.
Yeah. I think Morph Market has really helped out a lot, with that. So it's a great platform, and I love it. So I think it's kind of leveled the playing field for a lot of people, and like your animals, my animals, everybody's animals. So you can go look at on the same place. So it's I think it's really opened doors for a lot of people, myself and many others, obviously. So.
Yeah, definitely. We have a super chat from from Seraphim Serpents. Take it away, Austin.
Let's not forget about the Jet Fund. Oh yeah, by the way, Ultramel.
He's an Ultramel fan. So am I.
Okay.
But,
gotcha. Nice.
So the one thing is that I like, I've used you, I've said your name many, many times. There's so many people that have this doubt that, you know what, you can't compete against us big breeders. There's no room. We're the only people making the money. No one's buying high-end animals unless it's from the big names. You just admitted you're not very social media presence. You're not out there as much, though you do have some because I follow you and I see some of the awesome shit you post. And usually when I message you back, it's like, oh, sorry, Billy, it's been sold. Like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're not even out there grinding as hard as you could. You're out there, you got your spot. People know who you are. You're posting, you're doing stuff. Are you having trouble selling your high-end animals at all?
No, they seem to actually go the fastest.
Hold on. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Let me make sure. Can you say that? Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, the higher end stuff actually seems to sell the fastest.
But you're not a huge big breeder. You're up and coming. But like, how do you do it? What's the magic trick here? Because apparently it's so difficult.
Yeah, I'll just say what another great breeder says is just shut up and breed.
Yep.
And let your animals speak for themselves. Post your animals up, take pictures of them. You put them on Morph Market. And, people like what they see or they don't like it. And I just let the animals talk for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I kind of look at it. They sell themselves, so it's.
Yeah. There's so many guys like, Seth from DD Exotics.
Yeah.
He's not a huge big breeder. He's up and coming in the last few years like you guys, and holy fuck, man. Like the stuff that he's making and it's gone as fast as he posts it. If he wants to sell it, like it's some of the stuff he won't even sell. There's so many guys like you that 2-3 years ago said, you know what, I like it, I enjoy it, I'm good at it.
Right.
Let me invest in myself. Let me do this, turn it up a notch, and you guys are doing fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Just all the combinations that we see out there, and not necessarily want to replicate everything, but it gives you an idea,
Mm-hmm.
When you see what somebody else creates. And boy, if I just add one gene to this, or if I add this gene, how would that look? And it's all about having some kind of vision, and maybe it pans out, maybe it's what you thought it would be, or maybe it's not. And then you build on that, or you change directions. You got to be able to pivot, I think. And so I think versatility is really important, in today's market, because people like to see a lot of different stuff. You can't be pigeonholed into one project. You got to have some diversity in your collection. I think that appeals to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think even for yourself, like, I mean, I've been into freeways for 12 years, but I'm not just making freeways. If I was making freeways every year and just freeways for 12 years, I'd be like, oh, fuck, this again? Oh, my God. Like, I wouldn't even be excited. You need, even for yourself, to push the envelope. Add new genetics. Get different things in your rack. I don't want to go to a rack and open up and have 70 normal clowns. I mean, I wouldn't complain, especially if they were breeders, but fuck, I'd want to have some color and this one's het. This one has fire. This is Orange Dream Yellow Belly. This, oh my God, I got one of these. Like, you need some diversity in order to, even keep your collection and your. I don't want to look at other people's stuff and say, man, I wish I had it. I want to have it in my rack and say, I'm glad I have it, and then create, like you said, and add different stuff and take it to a different level. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. So just trying to keep, the best stuff that I can, because I'm not producing on a large scale. For me to do, what I do and have a comfortable lifestyle and maybe spend 4, 5, 6 hours a day, or sometimes not even that much time, out in the shop. I have other hobbies. You know, my parents are around. We go out to dinner almost every night. I see them.
Oh, awesome.
So, you know, they play an important part, you know, in my life. And, you know, but, you know, I ride motorcycles, so I enjoy doing that with my dad. And it's just something we've always shared together. You know, growing up young, I grew up in a family that's, you know, rode motorcycles. We go camping and take motorcycle trips. And, you know, we come to Daytona every year. I used to live in New York, that's where I'm from. So, you know, since the mid 80s, we've been coming down to Daytona Beach, you know, for Bike Week. And so, you know, there's more to this business than, you know, other parts of the life. So I just like to keep my collection small and as powerful as I can. You know, I'm not producing hundreds of clutches a year. I like to stay around a number of about 50. That's comfortable for me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
How big's your collection?
You're running what, 250, 300 animals?
Yeah, probably around there. Yeah, probably around there. Probably, you know, a little less than that. I mean, I got 2 hatchling racks full. Some are holdbacks. You know, that's 120 animals. You know, maybe 30 of those are holdbacks, and probably 100 breeder females, and, you know, maybe 30 males to support that.
Yeah.
So.
And you're comfortable doing 50, and that's the thing. Like, all these people that are so negative against this. Oh, you can never make money or a living unless you're doing 300-400 clutches a year. You got to have so much. You got to have this. You'll never make it. And I'm like, no. Somebody said, I mean, do you think, okay, just off the top of your head, if I said, without any sort of restrictions or anything, do you think you could make a living only producing 10 clutches a year?
Absolutely.
Correct. You know why? Depending on what the animals are.
Yes. Yeah.
100%,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I could make a living, very good living, if I could choose the 10 fucking females that I want and the 3 or 4 males that I wanted to breed. And with those 14, 13 animals, I could live off of it and do really, really well with 10 clutches a year.
Yes, it's possible. I'm sure that it is.
100%.
Yeah.
And you're doing it with 50. You know what I mean?
50.
I'm doing it really, really, really higher end with 250. You know?
Right.
But I actually want to get it where I'm doing, you know, 200, but those clutches are now more powerful. You know, because when I have 250 breeder, I have 477 breeder females. And I'm breeding. Not everyone is a $10,000 banger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Eventually, they fucking will be. They will be. I'm growing them up, right? So
yeah, that's the goal. We strive to increase our genetic power every season. I mean, that's the goal. You know, and if I can't make it, you know, I'm going to buy it.
Love it. That's exactly like fucking words right out of my mouth.
That's what I've been doing. Is I've been producing some. That's what I look at doing. You know, like, I want to make some super orange dream stuff, whether it be clowns or pies or just super orange dream. So I don't have enough, in my mind, I don't have enough orange dream, you know, females. So I've heavily invested in that this year, you know, more females for that.
Yep. And that's the thing. It's
and
awesome because, you know, I love a lot of the things you say because I spit it. I preach that stuff. You know, you want to invest, you know, make stuff that you want. And if you can't make it, you buy it. It's just, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And if, you know, I've done it where it's like, you can't buy everything. And it's like, you know what, I'll do another shot next year. And then you realize when you take the shot next year and you miss again, it's like, fuck, I'm 2 years behind now. And it really sucks.
Bought that animal last year, right?
Fuck yeah. But it's like, you know, knowing that you have the capability of making it, it's like, why spend that money when I can make it again? And, you know, you put that money to something else. But it's funny.
That you're not able to produce, and then you have it in the bank for yourself going forward.
100%. And I think it's great. You nail so many things that I preach all the time right off the top of my head. And like I said, I use you as an example because there's so many people out there with that thing. Oh, you'll never make this. You can't make a living. You know, only the big breeders, you know, they've got everything on lock. And I'm just like, you're so fucking stupid. Like the mentality that you have, you ain't going anywhere but your couch because you're just like, your mindset is shitty. And I use you and a few other people because I've seen where you've come over the last 2-3 years, and it's fucking awesome, and I love it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think 2020 was kind of what I'll call a breakout year for me, maybe, where I started making some stuff that even when it hatched, I was like, holy cow, I can't believe this, you know. And sales, you know, once you start producing some stuff like that, you know, sales were just really good. And then this year's been even better, you know, because I've got building blocks that I held back, you know, males that I held back, and sales that I was able to make to acquire, you know, other animals that have just propelled my collection, you know, to the next level for me. You know?
No, I think it's amazing. And like, you know, you're making some good shit when you can sell me, you know, like a Enchi yellow belly clown pied female, like, you know, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wow, you got that for sale. I wonder what the fuck you're holding back. Like, Jesus, dude.
Well, you know, I hold back some of it, you know. I mean, and like I say, I don't want a bunch of the same stuff in the rack, you know. You know, one or two is nice, but, you know, every year I seem to hold back actually more than I end up with. So right now, maybe I've got 40 holdbacks, and, you know, I'm sure that I'll get to the point later on down the road and be like, well, I could go without this and I could go without that, and, you know, maybe slim down a little bit and just keep the best of the best, you know, but not having everything out yet. I'm not going to put everything up for sale that I have. I want to see what the rest of the season brings, and then, you know, thin down from there and keep the best of my best, you know, for holdbacks. So.
One thing that I want to bring up, I might as well, I've actually used you in this scenario too. Do you have, when you ship your animals, do you have a weight that it has to be before it ships? Like, what's your theory on shipping animals?
My theory on shipping, you know, as far as
like animal weight. Would you ship an animal? Would you ship an animal that's 80 grams?
I mean, if it hatched at 55 grams and it's had 7 meals, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
with that.
Yeah, I see that. But most of these animals that people are shipping out are being sent to people, and they're not eating, and the breeders are not you know, answering their call or just throwing it on them. Because I use you in this situation, because I remember when you bought it was just an Asphalt Het Clown, right? Male?
Yes, I got that from you. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember, you know, it's like, hey, it's shipping. And I'm like, you know what, man? I think it needs a few more meals, dude. And you're like, well, you know what? Whatever you think is good. You know, I don't mind waiting 5 or 6 weeks till the next shipment. Not like I'm breeding them tomorrow, you said. I think,
right.
You know?
Right. There's no rush.
And then when I gave it to you, the thing was a monster. You're like, holy fuck, man, this thing's huge. So
yeah. I mean, it was great. He's done great. I still have him. He's a solid backup. I maybe bred him a couple times last year. You know, produced a few clutches, and but I've got an Asphalt Clown male now that's taking his place and is putting us some work in already this year for me on one female. Yeah,
I've got a few males that are Asphalt / yellow belly combo clowns. And I'm just waiting for a couple of clutches before I know that he proves out, or if it's a yellow belly or an Asphalt. And then when I know it's an Asphalt, I'm going to town because I got a whole bunch of animals just waiting for him. So you know,
I kept 3 females from him, you know, for last year. People are like, well, how come you're selling these Asphalt clowns? I'm like, well, I kept 3 of them last year. I can sell a couple more, and, you know, I missed on some combos that I was looking for. So, you know, I mean, I don't need 3 or 4 more in my rack. I've already got 3 adults that are like 1,200 grams, you know, so I'll just move forward with those.
Now, do you find it's hard to, you know, because you do this as a living, do you find it's hard to stay sort of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Structured, you know, like, you know, oh shit, I'm only having this many breeder females. That's it. Some have to go. You know, where this is my first year that I'm limited on my number of breeder females. Every year to this day, it's always like, oh shit, add another level, add more racks. Now in the new facility, I can't add anything. Well, I could, but I'd have to actually rip another room apart. But you never know. But I'm now faced to, hey, this is if I'm putting a female into the adult room, I have to get one out. And you've sort of always been accustomed to that. Is it difficult? Like, how do you find that piece to let go of an animal that you're being replaced instead of keep growing? Because I'm not familiar with that aspect at all.
Well, I'll give you an example for this, like making freeway stuff. Okay, so starting out, I made freeway stuff with yellow bellies. So I pretty much sold all my normal yellow belly females, and I've got some ivory combo females that I produce freeways with. Different varieties, whether it be Cypress or, PHI, freeway stuff or whatever. But even this year, then I decided I've got a couple normal ivories and they're not going to do much for me besides just, produce whatever male I put to it in a freeway form or ivory. So I even got rid of a few regular ivory girls this year. And, because I had about 5 or 6 that I wasn't sure were going to go for me last year, combo ivory girls, and they actually all went for me. So like this year I let my regular ivory girls go, and it's really not tough, as to sell proven breeder adult females. I took them to Daytona with me, and, they were gone Saturday by noon. I took 4 breeder females with me and they were gone Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
So, yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's
so you just slowly, if you're not accustomed to it, if you're limited on space, I can expand in the room I'm in now. I can add another 48 females, no problem.
You choose not to, though.
It's just the size of the collection that I'm comfortable with. And if I make, 300 babies out of 50 clutches, to manage during my season, it seems to be in 2021, it was a very compact season for me. I've only got 3 clutches left to hatch. So my season is pretty much over. By the time I get back from Tinley, I'll have just 1 clutch left to hatch. So, but I've got some females that are, 17, 18 millimeters. So they're already compared. So,
nonstop, baby.
Yeah, it's kind of nonstop. I'm down here in Florida, and it kind of is year round. I kind of limit it to, start breeding some females in here in September, October that might lay in February, March, or April. But then most of my females will lay in June or July. Mm-hmm. That just seems to be, how they go. So obviously everything that laid in June or July is pretty much hatched out, and I've just got a couple clutches due at the end of October. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's something I gotta learn to deal with instead of just keep adding. And even in my hatchling, I've actually got rid of a lot of my holdbacks. We're actually modifying it and doing it up because I do what you said earlier. I go this year. It's a little different, but before it was like I would just hatch stuff out, grow it up, and then okay, we're pretty much done. Let's look what I've got. And then I was like, holy fuck, I got like 9 of these, 6 of these. What the fuck? Yeah. Let's put them up for sale. Yeah. And they go quite fast because they're usually 300 grams at that point, 400 grams because I've had them for 6 months. But
the same scenario here. That happens. I get to the end of the year and I'm like, do I really need 3 of the same females? I'll keep the best 1 or 2 and sell the other one. So yeah, it's just one that seems to take off a little better eating. Not that the other ones are poor eaters, but you might have that one female that she's 1,000 grams, and the 2 others that you made are like 800.
Yep.
So you just keep the best one, keep the best eater and the best looking, and hopefully it's the same one, right? But then you can sell the other two. I find that I get in that position a lot. I'll probably be in that position this year again.
I've got another super chat from Amy Giramonte. Sells better half from House of Gaia Pythons.
She says, "Happy Monday." Seems like she's trying to get you to give up a bamboo pinhead clown.
Who's that?
Sal after's like, "You're never gonna get the bamboo pinhead clown like that." And then she's like,
But
"I should have saved for that $6.99 for rainy." I know.
Oh,
Maybe you're gonna make one for them.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I try to stay away from reading the chat because the chat's an animal on its own.
Yeah.
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 But no, I'm glad to see that you're doing so well and you're expanding and the animals that you're producing and I've seen some of your acquisitions. I'm like, fuck, it's pretty awesome, and the reason why you're doing that is because one, you're making money and it works,
Yes.
and people are afraid to invest in these higher end animals. And what does it really do for you?
I'm seeing that. I get a lot of people, that ask me, here's these two animals, which one do you think I should buy? And I'm like, if it was me, I know what I'd do. I'd spend twice as much and get the better male or female. And, instead of getting the one that's, half as much, you're just getting more genetic power. But some people are afraid to take that step and invest $5,000 or $10,000. And really, the price doesn't matter if you're getting the right animal.
For your needs, for what you're trying to produce and your collection, 100%.
For your collection, it doesn't matter, and I just went over this with somebody last week, I made another acquisition and so I was like, well, I didn't want to spend that much, but it fit my collection. So, I did. And I've been waiting for an animal for a year. So when it finally came around, you can't sit on it, in this market, it's going to be gone.
Yeah. Been there, done that many fucking times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
I had somebody last year was trying to buy orange dream yellow belly pied from me, and they're like, well, I tried looking at 3 other ones and, they were gone the next day. And I'm like, yeah, they sell pretty fast, so.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are realizing yourself. I mean, you've been breeding, you're doing this, you're enjoying it. You're good at it. You can sell. Hey man, I'm set up for this. Let me buy a better animal. Holy, look what it did. Look what my collection is now. Look what I've made. Look what I've held back, and it exponentially grows. And what do? Now you're not worrying about, oh, should I? You're like, fuck. You got anything better? That's the goal. That's a really nice animal, man. But you got something even better? That's where I'm at. Fuck, I want more. Come on, give me. You got to have something else even more. And you just get to there once you experience it. But not only first year, but 2-3 years down the road, those extra couple genes in those animals in your holdback rack, holy, does it keep exploding and exponentially? It just keeps blowing up.
It is. It's not a linear growth. It is actually, like you said, it's exponential.
100%. It's huge.
If you make the right moves,
and they produce and put the work in. You can't just spend your money and say, "Hey, I got this animal; it's going to do great."
Right.
Not if you don't feed it and breed it. So
yeah, you got to feed it and breed it. You got to raise it up. I got a few picky ones, but I do what I can. I move them around. I change bedding. I change the location. You
take them for a drive around the block yet?
What's that?
Have you taken one for a drive around the block?
No, I haven't taken them around the block.
Somebody has. I know some people that have done it, and they're like, Billy, I swear to fucking God, it worked. I've never done it yet, but I've actually had people. Yeah, I've heard it. I've never done it, but I've actually known people that are like, yeah, Billy, I actually did it. And you know what? It fucking worked. So I haven't done it yet. I might. I went to a YouTube video. Billy's driving his animals around. You never know. It could be a good, ball pythons in a car. I
had a few males that after last season breeding that, they don't want to go back on food right away. And, I changed them around. I moved them. I put them on different bedding, and still that didn't work for me on just like 2 of them. So I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but I tried that Da Vinci formula. That stuff works wonders, man.
Yeah,
It hasn't failed me yet.
Isn't it great? Yeah, so I started
man.
using that. I got it in September 2020.
Yeah.
I got it in. We used it. I got a big fucking bottle too, the big one. I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to order this and import the fucking thing, I'm getting the big fucking thing. Because if this thing works, if not, I'm just going to have some supplement that we're going to just use. And it's not going to hurt. Like, let's just try it. And we were doing it, and Austin's like, fuck, more work, Billy? And it's like, hey, man, well, and sure enough, I guess like a month and a half later, just the results. And Austin's like, holy fuck, dude, like, I can't believe this shit. Like, wow. And we kept doing it. And then we basically, on a podcast, I think in December. So we used it for like 3 months and just saw such a huge, turnaround that, we started talking about it. Next thing you know, and everyone is like January and can't get any of this stuff. And then I bought another batch, and everyone's like going, oh, this stuff isn't working. It doesn't work. Yet try it. And they're like, holy fuck, it does. Now, it doesn't work for everyone, but we got like 70% success, and I love the stuff.
Yeah, I've had 100% success, and I only used it on like 7 animals.
See, that's awesome. I love it.
And they were. I had 2 females and 5 males that I use it on. And what I did was I treated them with the formula. I gave them males. I didn't use exactly the way the bottle was. I know it says 0.1 mils for every 100 grams. Well, I gave the males, no matter what size they were, 800-900 grams. I gave them half a mil, and I let them sit for 2 weeks. I didn't bother them. And they started pounding, rats after that. Females, no matter what size they were, I only gave them 1 mil.
That's what we do. That's exactly what we do. No matter what, we just get the 1 mil pipettes in.
Yep.
You're not going to sit there and try it again to get, I just do one and out the door. And we do it like, every 10 days or so, couple weeks, and fucking great success. I love the stuff.
Right. I think I only had to treat 1 male once. I treated him, then he ate once, and then he took another fast, and I treated him again, a month later, and he's pretty much eating almost every week now. So, doing well, no complaints.
That's awesome. No, I was gonna say something that's like, if you didn't, I'm like, oh, you know what? There's this stuff, but you already did it. I love it.
Yeah, any little trick you can have in your bag, that's just one more option that you can pull out and make it work. That's more power to you.
And the way I look at it, is if they're not eating it and you've tried everything, and there's another little option, it won't work. Well, how the fuck do you know if you don't try it? Like, try it. The way I look at it, at least I tried. If I did it and it didn't work, at least I know I did fucking everything I could to try to get the animal to eat. I feel good, whether it does or not. At least I know I tried. But thank God the shit works.
It's a small percentage that seem to give me a problem, every year. It's not the same ones. Maybe you put that male through the ringer, or he really just wants to keep breeding. That seems
and not
to be,
eat. Yeah.
Right. And he's like, I don't want to eat. I just want to keep breeding. So, it's worked well. I find that's a last resort for me, the Da Vinci. What I usually do is, even during breeding season, when one goes off feed, I'll take it, and I've got some chlorhexidine, Hibiclens. You can buy it at Walgreens or CVS or anything. And I wash them with that. I just give them I squirt it on them with a little pump spray, wash them off. I clean their tub with the Hibiclens, give them fresh bedding, and I leave them for a week, and that usually works for me. But, when it doesn't, then I've used the Da Vinci on a couple of the animals like to talk about. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I should have called in and said, hey, man, how much to buy into this Da Vinci stuff? I want to be a partner. I should have did that. Because it's awesome stuff, and everybody that I know uses it is doing really well. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard of maybe 3 or 4 other people that have used it and have had good success. So, yeah, it works,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So, your most anticipated clutch coming with all the holdbacks that you have and the new acquisitions. What's your something you're shooting for this year that you really want to hit? One of the animals.
This coming year, or right, like this year?
Well,
I mean,
you know what? Let's do what you hit this year that you really were excited about, and what you can possibly hit next year. What's one of your goal animals for next year?
Well, I had thought I bought some Hurricane Het Clown females. I did a deal with the Shelby for Mershon's Morphs. Great guy. You know, that was our first deal that we did, and I got a couple of Hurricane Het Clown girls from him, and once I got those and they were putting some size on, I figured, you know, I think I'm going to go straight for making supers, you know, so I bought a Hurricane Clown male. Oh. And I was pretty excited, you know, for this coming year, you know, like this fall to start breeding them. But those females took off so well, they both laid for me. I ultrasounded them and they had follicles. You know,
to the Hurricane Clown?
No.
Oh, I was going to say already. Holy fuck, you're going to make Hayabusa clowns?
Oh, no, he wasn't quite ready yet.
I was
but
the
females were ready. So I have a spot nose, and these are my last two clutches that are going to hatch after Tinley.
Damn.
So I have a banana Hurricane Het Clown that gave me 5 eggs, and a spot nose Hurricane Het Clown that gave me 6 eggs. So those are my last two clutches.
What did you breed them to?
Those are my last two clutches of the year. Pretty excited.
What did you breed them to?
The spot nose Hurricane Het Clown I bred to a fire red stripe yellow belly clown.
Nice.
So that's one. The banana Hurricane Het Clown, I started her out with the same male, fire red stripe yellow belly clown, and then my confusion spot nose clown kicked in late in the year. So he got thrown in for the last two. He got thrown in for the last 2 locks. So that could be a double sired clutch. I don't know what Hurricane confusion
spot
clown stuff could possibly look like, but hopefully we get a chance to find out.
Crazy.
So
damn, that's gonna be some clutch. That's
two pattern making, combos, and some people are kind of like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, I don't know. I want to see what it looks like if I hit it. I don't know unless I try, right?
When it comes out and if it's fucking nuts as hell, people are like, how the fuck? Like, you gotta go off the grid to figure shit out sometimes, Yeah,
you got to try it. And I'm like, why not? Confusion's a busy animal, and Hurricane's a busy animal. So I figured, well, let's see how busy we can make this.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
super cool.
So pretty excited for that. Yeah. And actually, the female, the spot nose Hurricane Het Clown, like her clutch is due, I think, the 20th of October. Like she's only 200 grams away from her pre-lay weight already, and her clutch hasn't even hatched yet.
Holy damn!
She's an animal of a feeder. She's a beast. So yeah, she's super crazy. What started off, I'll tell you, it's a funny story. I was feeding one day, and she was probably about 900 or 1,000 grams, and I accidentally threw a medium rat in her tub. And I was like, oh, shoot, the wrong tub. And she took it, no problem. I was in amazement. She was probably barely 1,000 grams. And like I said, I threw a medium in there by accident, and she took that no problem. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. We'll see what happens next week, and she was off to the races after that. So just a great feeding animals, so it's always a bonus when you have those in your rack. Yeah.
And then next year you got proven breeders that are going to go, and you can make Hayabusa combo clowns. Fucking nuts.
That's the goal, man.
Banana Hayabusa.
Banana Hayabusa. How about a spot nose Hayabusa?
Yeah, I'd like to see what that. I love banana clown. Like banana, I think. I don't know. To me, I think I'd have to see it, but I mean, I'm just thinking, banana Hayabusa clown is just gonna be amazing. Like it's just nuts.
Yeah. Well, they were both a bonus for me this year. I didn't think they were gonna go because they were both 2019 animals. So I was lucky, and they fed well, they developed follicles, and I bred them. So
yeah, and that's the thing.
out.
I do the same thing. I mean, I have animals that, and if you think about it, in the wild, if they're eating and they're, a year and a half and they're 1,300 grams and they're starting to build follicles, they would breed in the wild. So why not? It's when they're 1,300 grams and they're not eating, and then you try to breed, you're going to get slugs,
Yeah. I look at body, not just the weight, but the proportion of the female.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a female and, does it look like she can support laying a clutch of eggs? And, I kind of go off of that. Even if they're feeding well, you may see one that she just doesn't look like she has the fat reserves to make it to lay a good clutch. So, I'll hold off on breeding that and wait till her body's more proportioned, and she's got fat reserves to go 3, 4, 5 months without eating, and put her, instead of putting an animal that's not proportioned well, through the stress of laying a clutch like that, so it all depends on how your females look, so but
I think that back in the day, I mean, I learned, they had to be 3 years old and they had to be over 1,500, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I would have, I waited so long to fail. I could have failed a year earlier when I first started. It took me 3 years to learn how to fail and not produce. I could have done that, It's like, or raising them up for 3 years, finally getting them to breed, and they start smashing around like, what the fuck? And, you find out that it's a male.
I'm a pretty mathematical guy. I like statistics. So, I keep track of my 2-year-old females. And, I probably got, going into this coming season, I probably got 12 that'll be 2 years old, and just based off my experience, if I breed them, I find probably about 50% of those are going to lay, of my 2-year-olds. And I've talked to other people. They pretty much have the same, results. I don't know about you, but I keep track and depending on how many females I breed, I also take a look at, okay, so how many females that I breed and how many actually laid for me, I mean, even some proven breeders take a year off once in a while,
Mm-hmm. So
I find about 60 to 65%, of what I pair is actually going to go to lay me a clutch. And those are pretty consistent numbers for me. I don't know if you keep track of stuff like that, but I kind of do. I just, if I breed, 70 or 75, I mean, probably going to get 50 clutches, somewhere in that neighborhood. So
yeah, we don't keep track of it. I know we've had.
You probably have how many clutches are we down right now? 121.
No, 123.
Yeah, 123. I think we might have had 25 girls reabsorb. Whatever, and everything else is just still going nicely.
So 80%.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah, 80.
Right. So yeah, and you use ultrasound, obviously, right?
Yeah.
We all just sound twice a month.
I think I heard it was maybe it was a live that you did or one of the podcasts or something. But how you ultrasound really frequently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
So yeah, every 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll do 2 weeks in a row, and then we wait a week, and then another week, and then 2 weeks. So we have a system where we'll ultrasound, especially now when we stop pairing and breeding for 6 months.
Right.
We're okay, it's end of January, beginning of February. We haven't paired since we moved, to the facility animals for 5 months. Let's start it up. So right now we have a system where if they have eggs, there's a black clip. So we know that they have eggs. There's no sense ultrasounding them. If they're building follicles, we have a yellow clip. If there's no follicles and there's no eggs, there's no clip. And if they've laid, we have a little card on the front that says eggs laid. Okay. So what'll happen is, I think we just did the yellows last week, or we
did the yellows.
Yeah, so Austin will go through with Elion and he'll ultrasound all the yellows, which means that they're building and we've paired them. And then if they need one more lock, we put a little black beside it. So it's black and yellow, which means they just need one more lock. If we go and that yellow now is like, oh shit, they're over 3 centimeters or 30 millimeters. Let's take the yellow off and put a black. She's gravid. And then like a week or two later, we'll go through all the animals that don't have anything on them. And then it's like, oh shit, now she's at 10, 11. Let's put a yellow clip on, which means now she's ready to breed, or pair. And we just go through that. So we don't do all 477 breeder females. We go through and do like, 100 here. Next week might be 200, and we just sort of see at what level and stage they're at. And it works great for us, right? And then we have Husbandry Pro that we use. 5 months after they lay, we're going to get a notification, and then we're going to go ultrasound. So our software is going to tell us when to go ultrasound those females to see, because they should be ready to go through their new cycle.
I'm pretty close to that. I think I go about 6 months. I've seen that work for me. You're a month earlier. I mean, it's pretty close. So I seem to think I start pairing, the girls that laid in February or March, they're getting paired now. They're already developing follicles. They got 17, 18 millimeter follicles. And I just did some ultrasounding yesterday, and some of my earlier females, they're 12 millimeters. So, I'll probably pair them beginning of the month, So, but yeah, it's exciting to see the different stages of, developing follicles, actual locks, see the follicle development, and then, eventually, see them sitting on a clutch of eggs. I mean, it's just, a whole cycle there, man. It really gets me going. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year, because I know what males I put in my rack last year that are going to breed for me this year. So I'm excited about it.
Me and Lord Elion have a split clutch we're doing. We actually did use the same female. She laid back in late March, I think it was March 27th. And it's already, right now, I ultrasounded her this morning. She's at 26 millimeters. So she's she's going to double clutch this year for us.
Yeah, double clutch.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah. I had one pied female that did that for me last year. I couldn't believe it. She laid clutches like 7 months apart.
That's crazy.
Fucking right. Crazy. We're learning shit, people. It's not just you gotta wait. They can only do it until they're 3 years old and all this nonsense, and you can only breed.
That's where the ultrasound. That's where the ultrasound comes in handy.
Yeah. You can only breed from October, November to February, March. That's the breeding season. Fuck off. Shut up. Like, oh my God. Like, it's just crazy. You breed when the animals are building. That's it.
Yeah. You can't deny what nature wants to happen.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy. Some of these things that these animals that we're learning on. It's just like, what? Like how? I mean, it's just incredible. Some of these things, and it is definitely something that I'm always learning. There's always something out there that is new to me or I didn't know. Have you heard? I had Earl from Lone Star on as a guest, probably 5 months ago, and somebody in the chat said, "Hey, any advice on getting some of your hatchlings to eat?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I got a good one here. Put some pure vanilla on the back of the rat." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "No, I'm serious." I'm like, "What?" Really? Yeah, so we all did it. Pure vanilla extract. You'd get a little drop of it, and you put it on the back of the rat's neck, and you dangle it in front of it, and I guess it smells the alcohol or the strong vanilla scent. And they fucking eat. That's how we convert our ASF eaters over as hatchlings. And I mean, it works like a charm. And we did a video on it, and all these people started calling Earl. It's like, holy shit, Earl, that worked. And he actually heard that years ago from Brian Barczyk. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. So you never heard of that. This is your first time hearing it, right?
No, that's my first time hearing it. I learned about it today.
Yeah.
Right now.
So pure vanilla extract. You just get the little pipette, and you put a little drop of pure vanilla extract, and you just put one little drop on the fur on the back of the neck, and then you hold it up, and it works pretty damn good, man. It's crazy. You know, another little trick in the pocket. You know,
put it in my pocket. Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, just little stuff. Talking to people like you and other people. There's just little tiny things and little hints of stuff, the way we do things, and it's just sharing information, right? Yeah, yeah. Everybody's got their way of doing things, and there's not just one way to do it. I mean, both you and I talking here are proof of that. I mean, you do it a little bit different. You start breeding your girls 5 months after. I'm 6 months. Well, we ultrasound 5 months later. Oh, okay. I don't even put a male in until they're at least 10 to 12 millimeters. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I go to look. The reason is because we've been looking and noticing these females is like, how the fuck are they getting follicles already? Like 4 or 5 months later, and I don't want to miss it, right? Right. So I want to look at 5 and say, nope, next month. Oh shit, now they're at 10. Let's put a clip on, and we start looking at 5 months, 6 months, roughly. But that's the goal. They should start redoing it again. You'll start pairing females at like what, 10 to 12 millimeters? Exactly, 10 to 12. Okay. Usually it's 12. Like
I like to put the yellow clip at 11.
But if it's 11, 10, 11, we put it in, and then it usually gets, the next round within the next week or two. Then it'll see the male for the first time, and then she goes into breeding rotation. Right. Okay. Yeah. About the same. Yeah. 12 plus. That's pretty much where I'm at. Yeah.
When do you stop?
When is the last time follicle size that you won't put a male in? You just sort of know she's on her way. She's 30 or over. She's done. Yeah. Okay, we're the same. 29, 30. Yeah. I had one of my Patreon people give me a shout today, and they're like, "Hey, we got our ultrasound, fucking awesome!" And like. Are these eggs? They're 29.6 millimeters, and they see a nice big fucking circle on the screen, and they probably were like, "Oh my god, like this is crazy." The first time using an ultrasound was today, so they see a 29.6, and it looks like an egg. It's as big as an egg, and they're like, "What?" Yeah. I'm like, "No, when was it? When was the last time you paired?" They said 2 days ago. Yeah, how many locks that you did? We've gotten over 2. And I'm like, perfect. So just basically leave it alone. It's on its way. Right. So that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was when, I had been using borrowing a friend's ultrasound, Winston Smith. Winston. Yeah. WHS Reptiles, man. I love him. He's awesome. Winston's a great guy, man. He helped me, I think, get where I am, Awesome. He's local, he's in Orlando, I'm in Daytona, and I helped him out for about a year and a half at his place. I should say he helped me out really. But he needed some help over there, and that's when I was kind of transitioning, to go into this full time, around 16, 17, and I was making that move. So instead of, working a regular job, I was helping him out. And, one of the perks, he let me use his ultrasound when I needed to use it, and then finally this year I broke down and bought my own. It's tough to find one, I mean, it was really tough to find one. Because of all these chip shortages, around the world, I mean, they're having a hard time producing cars, chip shortages. Yep. It's the same thing. Cell phones. Fucking thermostats. Yeah. Oh, right. My God. Right? Yeah. I don't have to worry about that. I've just got 3 thermostats in my room, one on each hatchling rack and one for the incubator. I'm ambient temperature for the rest of my collection. So, cool. Rich McCall's in the house. And he just said, if I dropped my ultrasound on the floor and broke it, I'd buy another in 3 minutes later. Maybe 2 if I type fast. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's so true. I mean, honestly, I would have had to find a way. I would have learned to palpate. I would have had no choice. But in 2010, when I bought my ultrasound, best investment I've ever made. I wouldn't be where I'm at without it. I've learned so much, and I definitely would be way, way, way behind without one. And it's a blessing to me. I recommend it to people that want to take this serious. And it just, none of this. I think she might be gravid. Oh, I don't know. Is she? Maybe. I think she's building. You fucking know with this thing, like without a doubt, you know?
Yeah. I did the palpating thing for years, obviously, you know, until I had access to an ultrasound, and, you know, it worked, you know, but was it optimal? Probably not. Now I know, obviously, that I probably missed some females in the rotation there, you know, back in the day that would have bred for me, you know, had I had an ultrasound back then.
Yep.
But yeah.
Shout out to Snakes for the Memories. They said Billy suggested we get an ultrasound, and oh my God, game changer. It really is.
Yeah.
You know where you're at. You don't need the parent animal anymore instead of trying to feed it and pair it. Meanwhile, you're stressing her out because she's gravid. Like, none of that shit. You know, it's really a key. And I stress it. And, you know, if you only have, you know, one male going to like two females, you don't need it, obviously. You know, you can just do it old school. But I mean, if you're trying to get into this, and especially if you have high end pairings, you know, you have $2,000, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 animals, and you miss a year, man. That hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's painful.
It is painful. You know, other people are making it and they're flying off the shelves, and you have to wait. And then when you do make yours, they're like, you know, a little less. You're like, damn, man. And then other people, the year later you wait, they're breeding the stuff that they held back, and you're like, motherfucker. It sucks. You know?
Yeah. It's definitely a piece of equipment that comes in handy. Yeah. So.
Awesome. So something new and exciting that you've done recently. You know, any upgrades to any equipment, any new racks, anything, you know, anything exciting?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, you know, I'm in Daytona Beach, so we're, you know, prone to getting hurricanes and stuff here, obviously, you know. I'm beachside. I'm only 2 blocks from the ocean, so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I literally can hear the waves out my bedroom window, you know. I've invested this year. I had to leave twice. I think it was in 17 and 18 where they had like mandatory evacuations, and you know, FWC permit holder. So obviously if they call for an evacuation, you're supposed to leave. And back then, you know, it wasn't too much of a problem. You know, I had a couple of vehicles. I had a truck, and, you know, my parents had a vehicle. So, you know, was it pleasant? No, it wasn't pleasant to bag up animals and evacuate and leave. But, you know, I made it happen. So it's the collection now is beyond that. So I have a trailer I got this year. So in case I have to leave, I can do that. You know, it's air conditioned. I can have heat in it. You know,
awesome.
It'll have plug in for a generator. I can power it or plug it into RV outlet, wherever. And that way I know that, you know, wherever I go, you know, if I have to haul out of here, that I've got means to get out of here safely, you know. So that was one. And I'm going through right now putting a whole house generator in just for, you know, any power outages, you know, because we did go through those hurricanes a couple years back. And I think, I forget which one it was. We were without power here for 3 days, you know. So, you know, I had a generator power in the room, and it worked for then. But, you know, it wouldn't work now just with a regular portable generator since I'm using ambient
so
heat.
much, yeah.
Yeah, so I need, you know, I need a 22 kW generator to power, you know, a full AC heat pump unit. So yeah, that's in the process of being put in right now.
Yeah,
so
that's
you know,
awesome.
You have to make upgrades to your infrastructure. You know, I mean, like your facility there, your brand new place. I mean, you've made tons of upgrades since you moved in there.
Still making it, yeah. I mean, we added the new airflow systems in each room. I mean, that was like 5,600.
Yeah, it's not just the animals, but you have to have, you know, the infrastructure behind it to to support your animals.
100%. Yeah. You always want to upgrade. And that's the thing is like, I feel better upgrading the stuff and putting stuff in and making it, like we're upgrading now. I got to get the electrician in. I have those blue air movers that I love. They're great, except they're blue and they're on the floor and it's
right.
like, it's not a very aesthetically pleasing. So now I went out and got these chrome, heavy duty industrial fans. And we got to put those and mount them and then get electric, because I'm going to have them on the wall, and they're nice and high powered, and they just look way nicer, and they'll look nice because they're steel and stainless steel looking. And did I have to? No, but you know what? I want to. That's one of the things that I like doing with some of the money that we make is invest into this place and get better stuff and keep upgrading things, and you know.
I had the same thing. I had some fans. They were, on the floor, and I was always having to move cords around and this
tripping
and that.
over them with the buggy.
If you got your cart, you can't move it around until you move some fans out of the way. So I did the same thing this year. I put fans up on the ceiling and on the walls, to move air around in my room. It's 15 by 30, so it didn't take that many fans, and it's a small price to upgrade to make.
Better improvements, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, didn't cost that much. It was a cheap upgrade, but just make little things easier.
100%. So, morphs.
This is awesome. I for sure in the alley for an ultrasound machine. Just want to be prepared. You guys fucking rock.
Yay! We try. We try.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of ultrasound do you have? What do you use? I looked around at a lot of models, so I probably heard whatever brand you're.
We're using the Karson or Karson 5600.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at that. I looked at that unit. I'd actually tried it at Daytona a few years back, and it's a decent unit for sure. I got a unit. It's called a Mind Ray. I was looking, and I wasn't really familiar with it, but did a lot of homework on it, and I took the jump, and I'm glad I got it. I like it. It's handy. The resolution's really nice on it. It's a good screen, and I like the features. And it was a learning curve to try to get your depth and your gain and all that shit adjusted right. Because there's so many things,
bells and whistles, and
that.
It's crazy.
So, now I've got it fine-tuned where the only thing I have to change is, depending on how big the female is I will change the depth. And that's it. That's the only adjustment I make. So if I've got, a 1,800 gram female, I might be like 3.5, centimeters. If I've got a 3,500 gram female, I'll be like 4.7. I just go to the next notch up. And it gives me a better resolution on the screen. That's really the only adjustment that I make, just depending on the size of the female. So.
Oh, that's awesome. We should.
We don't do any adjustments.
Yeah, we should though. I want to get there's somebody that I know who's an ultrasound person.
I'll put you that tomorrow.
We can when Jean-Francois comes back, we can get him. I mean, he's a superstar with that.
Yeah. But it makes sense, right? I mean, if you've got a huge female and you're only set to maybe like 3.5 or, whatever centimeters, you might not get a good clear image. If you go a little bit deeper, with your depth, you'll probably get a clearer image, and you might actually see a bigger follicle than you see with less of the depth. That's what I find, on a big female. You won't get as clear of a picture if your depth isn't set as far as a small female.
Yeah.
We don't really notice a difference with the ultrasound. This one.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is like I know the depth, but I mean, when we do it, we can actually, it's not like we're looking for arteries and stuff, valves. You know what I mean? Little.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the flow doing it really well? Like I mean, we're just looking for circles. Circles and measuring the fucking things. But I mean, there is big difference, because I know my old machine was a professional one. It was like a hospital grade one. And when it was working at its prime, it was just like, holy shit, this is crystal clear. Like, wow. Yeah. I mean, it's nuts. So
right.
You know, but it had a manual, like a telephone book. Like it was.
Yeah, this thing is the same way, you know. But you know, I just need some basic settings to start with, and then you know, I save a profile, and that's what when I start it up, it opens up to that profile, and it works for me. So yeah.
Nice.
So we have a little segment I want to get rid of.
I'm gonna go take a water break.
You do quick. That, and we do shout outs of the week. So we're gonna do that, and let's give some people some props.
It's time for shout outs of the week.
So first ever hatchlings is going to JC Serpents. They had 8 hatchlings from an African import gold stripe granite bright times lemon blast. That's another one. I've heard of this bright gene. I guess I've heard so many people working with this bright gene. It keeps coming up. I have to look into it. I don't know what it is, but I keep hearing it. But 8 hatchlings, first ever. Congrats. You're hooked.
Yeah, nice.
They're hooked.
Awesome. Yeah, you know, that's how it starts.
That's how it starts, man. You think you're addicted, you know, collecting them and raising them up. Once you have your babies, you're really hooked. You don't know what hooked is.
Right.
So everybody that I'm gonna, you know, shout out and talk about, as well as Corey, all of their info and links be in the description below. Next, we have 500 on Instagram, Full Tilt Reptiles and Green Mountain Reptiles. 1,000 on Instagram, we have Old Troy City Reptiles. 1,500 on Instagram, we have Black Smoke Reptiles and Alluring Serpents. 2,500 on Instagram, M-Tip Reptiles. 5K, double that, we have Reppy Life. 6K, RIP City Reptiles. Rip City Reptiles. Sick. And then, of course, Antoine from High Desert Pythons. Again, he keeps moving up. 8K on Instagram now. So awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Antoine, like every 2 months we hear from him because it's like 5,000, 6,000. He keeps putting in the work, man. So he keeps getting on here. Yeah. We're going to shout him out again at 10 and then 15 and 50 and then 100. Like, you know, no slowing him down. You couldn't slow him down if you tried. That's a big mofo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we have, this is a fellow Canadian, Full Tilt Reptiles. So it says here, Taylor and Olivia of Full Tilt Reptiles just welcomed a new son in the world named Karson. So congratulations, guys.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice.
A 1.0.
Yeah.
And then Artist of the Week, we have Art Fantasy Lab. Animal and reptile artist creates digital prints, logos, prints on clothes, and custom pet portraits. Find them on Instagram, Etsy, and Redbubble. And like I said, all those people, all their links are in the description below. And so keep doing it. And anybody that has any, want to make the shout outs of the week, anything that they're doing or something, first clutches, first evers, whatever, always send the links in the description below. Send to Callie at MCMC Shoutouts on Instagram. And then just send her what you got, and she'll throw it all together like she always does to make this show somewhat better.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
it's nice, man. It's nice. You give back a lot to everybody, and that's what makes people like you great. And you're always looking out and recognizing people that are coming up and supporting them in the industry. And I think that's really important. Because everybody starts from nothing.
100%. And
you can't start. You can't start. Midway. I mean, you have to start from nothing.
Yeah. And you got to learn along the way. And, I did it where I did start from nothing. And I fucking kept going and still getting nothing. And a year later, trying something else and still getting nothing. And then getting more animals and breeding. And then they gave me nothing because they were males, not females. So, it's fucking hell of a lot of learning curve. And I would not suggest it. There was no Patreons, no YouTubes, no social media. We didn't have people helping each other. It was more like, oh, shit, give me your money. Thanks. Now fuck off because I can't help you because you're my competition now. That's how it was 20 years ago, Right. Especially when we didn't have we had a small little, 40, 50 people in our area that were ball python people. And that was the market, the 50 people.
Right.
So no one wanted to help you compete against themselves. So it was like, give me your money and fucking, that's all you're getting from me. And then it started changing and you started getting to friends and started hanging out. And, now the industry is amazing and the community is phenomenal. And the knowledge that people are sharing. And I want to recognize people because, I know what it's like to be at the bottom because I've been there. I know what it takes to get to where I am and to where I still want to go. And it's not easy. It's fucking not easy. And you can vouch for that. You didn't sit back and just, relax to get where you are. You put work in. You've invested time, money, effort, and, you're continuing to learn.
It takes some sacrifice. You definitely have to put in time. Like I say, I'm, 9, almost 10 years into this. And, I still got a lot to learn. And I still, once you think, you're striving for a project and you're like, oh man, I can't wait till I hit this. That's my dream, Well, by the time you hit or get close to that dream,
there's 5 other dreams.
I've already got another dream in mind.
There's 5 others. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Especially when people are putting out the fucking fire that they're putting out. It's like, what? Did you see that? I gotta get into that. Like, you're social media is so, if you turn it off, you might have that dream come true. The one that you went after because you're not looking at anything else. But when you're looking at your phone or on Morph Market or anything else, man, like that dream was like, that was yesterday's dream. What's today's?
That was yesterday's dream. I saw this and now that's a dream.
And it'll change probably 4 more times. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it happens every year, I mean, you might set course on a different direction, and that's what makes it exciting. It's there's, I wouldn't have thought 4 or 5 years ago, even when I was really starting to dig in and grind and put in some serious work, I wouldn't have thought things that we're seeing today were possible. And who knows what we're going to see in another 5 years? I mean, there's probably genes that will still be discovered and endless combinations.
Endless.
Endless. Yeah.
I remember back in the day, 2002, we were like, oh my God, if you start, I don't know, man, I think 4 or 5 genes, they'll be like, they're going to have like deformities because there's just too many genetics involved. We were afraid to fucking do it. And, why aren't there double recessives? Oh, you can't make double recessive. There's something wrong with them. It's like, oh yeah, well, and then all of a sudden now, like, here's this and here's that. And now we're, quads are coming and there's triples out there. And it's like, my God, like it's amazing how far and where our mindsets were, even in the industry and people in the community. We've always had a community, but a community, I think, when you say the word community, it means togetherness or, support and help and care. Yeah. We had a communyou but it was none of the shit I just mentioned. Now it's growing and it's there and people are, you have 145 people in the house. They're here to support, here to listen, here to learn, here to, ask questions, here to give advice, whatever. Just to hang out, and it's amazing. And the chat has its own little, I think people, I say it so many times jokingly, couldn't even be real, but I think people come here not to watch us. They just come here to go to the fucking chat. What the fuck those guys saying? I don't know. They probably have it on mute and they're just chatting away in the chat because that's fucking awesome. But I hope they listen to a little bit of this and sort of, but it's just support and people showing up and learning and just it's awesome. you know,
Right.
and things. I love shouting people out, and you know, we all have bad days, and I think everybody should get recognized no matter at what level they're at, you know, because guess what? I was at whatever level. If somebody bought their first snake, oh my God, I was there once. So were you.
Yeah.
We were all
Yeah.
there. We didn't just say, oh, fuck, I want to get into the snake business. Let me just fucking go buy anything and let me just fill it with all these. We all started somewhere. But now some of these people coming in now with all these resources, Patreon, YouTube, all the following, and people, mentors, and going to facilities now where that was a no-no back in the day. You couldn't go to someone's facility. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's like, hey, we're building facilities so you can fucking come. You know, I love when people come. And I can show you the possibilities, and here's some adults, and hey, you know, and they're like, wow, this is amazing, and see the ultrasound. I can show them, and the eggs, and the egg cutting, and how we do videos, and they're just like, oh my God, they get really involved, and they're like, I want to do this. And then they can skip a lot of the stuff that we had to go through. You know, hey, I want to do this, I like this, I want to invest, I have some money, okay, go get the right racks, go get an ultrasound, go get this, and they're starting off like the way we wish we all did if we knew. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's great how they don't have to go through all the growing pains that we did and all those learning curves. They still have some. It's not like, oh, you just buy all this stuff and you're set. You're still going to work. You're still going to learn. You're still going to have to assist feed an animal. You're going to have animals that fucking come out fucked up. You're going to have animals that reabsorb. Why? I bred her, I fed her, I had 5 locks. What the fuck? The ultrasound said? It's like, shit happens. You know, fucking slugs come out, like that clutch that you really wanted. Yay! 9 fucking slugs. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You know?
Right.
But no, it's awesome, man. And you're always going to learn, and things are always going to come, and you're going to have to do it. Like, people are like, oh my God, I got to assist feed. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do it. And I'm like, if you're going to breed and you think you're going to get bigger, you're going to have to learn, because that's experience. Because I guarantee you, when you're making, 50 to 100 babies a year, you're going to have to assist 1 or 2. You know, that's just fact.
Yeah. I probably about 1 or 2 in 100. So 1 to 2%.
100%. Yeah. It's coming. I mean, it does happen, you know?
Yeah. You get a small one, or you just get that stubborn one, and, it's not going to happen. And, 1 to 2%, that's what I see. And, I've got one right now. So, it's, you're right. You got to learn it and move on. And it's part of the knowledge base that you have to acquire.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love this hobby. I love this industry. I've learned a lot. I continue to learn a lot. I've made amazing friends. I didn't come on and try to do YouTube to inspire people. I just wanted to show people what I love and what I do. And I don't change what I am. I'm hyper. I move my hands. I'm fidgety. I have OCD. I have everything. And I just embrace who I am, and I just be me. And it's amazing how many people some people sit there and go, I can't watch this fucking guy. He's all coked up or whatever the fuck they think, But I can't believe I inspire so many people. And I'm glad, because, I really like that. I can tell people how to do it, make them feel good, teach them stuff that I know, and they don't have to make as many mistakes as I've had to, or other people in the past. Make this more enjoyable. And you see it now with what is at your fingertips and all the knowledge and everything that's out there that you can access, and people just give up. Fuck, you should see fucking what, there's so many of us troopers that made it. And you should see the shit that we had to go through. Man, I mean, if you can't make it here, you wouldn't made it a week back in the fucking day. You really wouldn't.
Right,
but
sure.
I do think people need to have support, have a slap on the back and say, hey, man, good for you. Good job. Good pickup. Learn what to buy. Learn what to do. And the sticker stuff, I fucking love it. People used to laugh at me and call me a sticker girl. Cool. Why are you getting these fucking stickers? They're stupid, sticking them on your ceiling. Oh, well, guess what? I fucking love it. I think it's amazing. I love going in there. People come in and look, and it's like, holy fuck, I got 2 8x8 foot walls, and I got another 8x8 foot wall that I already got the board. So, you're going to come in, and I'm going to have a room that all the walls surrounding you are filled from head to toe with fucking stickers of amazing people and breeders and colors and logos, and it's incredible. It's art in itself. And you know what? Some of those people may not be there in 5 years. Some of them may change their logo. There's some people that have rebranded, you know.
Right.
But guess what? I like it. It's something I wanted to do. I think people, you know, especially with, I guess, my status or you know, where I'm at on social media, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't take anything away from me. All I have to do is wear a shirt or say, hey, guys, I do a Mail Monday.
Yeah.
It's nothing for me to do. It's so easy. And you know what? It's so little for me to do something, but it changes and makes someone's whole fucking day, you know, or motivates them more to get, holy fuck, let's do this even more. Wow. Yeah. You know, it's a push. You know, just like we used to do the YouTube channel of the week, Austin's shout out of the week for YouTube. Those people now, you know, Antoine from High Desert Pythons, Precious from Precious Pythons, you know, Small Town Exotics, Shane, like we were shouting them out, you know, Alyssa from Full Tilt when they were like 250, 500, let's get them to 1,000. Now they're crushing it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying it's because we we said their name, but I'm sure that's like, oh my God, like, you know, it motivated them. You know, it's just something that all I had to do was say their name and recognize them. And I do I think it's great that they're doing stuff. Like I was blown away. I'm still blown away from the very first video I saw of Shane at Small Town. This is my first egg cutting, and I'm like, what the fuck? His videos are like better than mine. I'm seeing them. I look at his room. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy. Fuck, I've never heard of this guy. This is my first egg cutting. I'm like, what? I had to rewind it. This is my first egg cutting. I'm like, what the fuck? I was blown away. But I love shouting people out for doing amazing and going after it, trying to do stuff, you know, trying to do something that's even out of their comfort zone. And it's amazing. And the way people are interacting and hanging out at shows and calling people to support, not only snake related, just, you know, casual shit. It's awesome.
Yeah. I have a lot of casual conversations with people. You know, it's not always about animals. But it's cool, you know. It's part of the camaraderie, you know. It's what it's about, you know. I can't wait. Coming up, you know, I've never been to Tinley. This is going to be my first show for Tinley. I've been on the waiting list for I've been on the waiting list for like 2 years. I just never made the trip just to go. But you know, I'll be vending. I only got one table, but you know, it'll be a good experience, and you know, can't wait to see some people that I do know, and I'll meet some people that I haven't met yet, and it'll be a good time, you know?
Yeah, 100%. You know? Yeah, and I think that's great. It's just seeing people and just seeing the atmosphere and all these people that have, you know, this love for animals or, you know, all different types of species, and it's just amazing having it and being and feeling all the electricity and it's just such an awesome feeling, and I love being a part of them. Yeah, we all get together and hang out and, you know, have dinner and just, you know, talk about whatever. And some of the shenanigans that happened.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's always a little bit of shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
But,
no, it's awesome.
Can't wait. So what's one of your most exciting projects that you're working on?
Monsoon Pied. That's definitely a big one for me. Super Asphalt Clowns. There's quite a few crazy stuff. I have a shot at combo freeway clown pieds this year too.
Okay.
So freeway clown pieds. Which will be sick. Freeway clown pieds.
I'm not quite there, but I'm, you know,
creeping in.
creeping in. I've got a chance at, you know, freeway clowns that are het pied, you know, so
nice.
You know, I work that a little bit, you know. I've got some other females that aren't quite big enough, but you know, I like the freeway pieds as much as the freeway clowns, you know. And so I've got a few females on the pied end of that growing up, and a few females on the clown end of that growing up, and you know, we can mesh it together eventually. You know,
I like how the freeway pieds age. They look good, eh?
Yeah. I've seen them, and you know, keep track of some pictures that are out there, and I know some people that have them, and they look good. Even highway stuff. Even though some people making highway stuff, I don't knock it, but I'm like, man, I wish they were into freeway stuff, because I'm on the asphalt side of things. I don't knock the highway stuff, but it's like I don't want to do both projects.
Same here.
It's too complicated.
Yep.
I just like to stick to the freeway stuff. So I'm in the asphalt game, but did you see Sterling Nelson? Did you see that animal earlier this week?
That's crazy, right?
Is that crazy?
Super gravel
pavement clown.
Oh, it's the asphalt. No, it's asphalt pavement, asphalt gravel.
Yeah. Made a pastel pavement clown. That was insane. You know.
I mean, I've got. I showed when I did a live earlier. I showed off the pastel leopard freeway clown. I've got a pastel Enchi freeway clown. She's probably hitting 1,000 grams almost. So I'll see her, next year, probably this time, hopefully breeding. And then the Enchi special freeway clown. The fucking thing is nuts. Like, oh my God, like Enchi special freeway clown. It's just crazy. So, but I love that whole thing because it's always been a part, freeways, the monsoon pieds. I'm interested in, and I'm wanting to see what they look like. What other crazy stuff? We just had a clutch laid today. We didn't even put it away. We got to put it away tomorrow. We forgot. We did 4 other videos today. But we had a super fighter het clown female.
And I saw that. Yeah.
And she was bred to the Cypress spot nose clown. So I just need some Cypress spot nose fighter clowns, baby.
That'll be nice. So I like Cypress. It's becoming one of my favorite genes to work with. I got some stuff. I think 2 years ago, I got a Cypress Enchi freeway from Ozzy.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I raised that up, and I love what that Cypress stuff is doing in freeway, and so I'm working that angle a little bit more this year, and see what else I can come up with. But I like it. I'm making freeways, with Cypress that are almost jet black, and something with Cypress, with certain combos that looks like an orange dream. You'd swear it was an orange dream. It's really cool how crazy one gene can change something,
I'm going to show you a picture. I haven't posted it. I just hit a super asphalt black pastel.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Oh yeah, that looks good. There's a little glare on the screen, but I can see it. That looks hot. Yeah, that's better. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
It's more bright because see now I did that to the fucking. There's better. Yeah. But it's actually dark and it has orange little saddles, like little flecks in it. It's crazy. But I love Cypress too. We got a bunch of Cypress into hypo. So I've got like Orange Dream, Cypress, Mojave hypos. They're not het for anything. No, they're all ghost. Yeah. But we did a het to a het and Asphalt too.
Oh yeah, you killed the odds.
Yeah, we got 4 out of 5 eggs for hypo.
From a het to het.
From a het to het. And Cypress in every fucking animal.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
It was like, what?
I think the least, you got like a 3 gene at the least, hypo, Cypress.
Yeah, but the Orange Dream, Cypress, Mojave, Asphalt.
Oh, that one's crazy.
Hypo. Fucking nuts.
Even the Enchi, Cypress.
Oh, the Enchi, Cypress, Orange Dream, hypo.
Hypo's nice too.
Is nice. I'm going to take some pictures in that. I've been really slacking on social media. I'm trying to hire a marketing, a social media manager that can, it's nuts. I can go back there and open a tub and I can take a picture of all my hatchlings and I can post 2 a day and I'd still have enough that last over a year. Like, it's nuts how much shit I've got. It's nuts. And then it keeps coming out. We can't catch up. We're running out of room, man.
Yeah. You'll figure out how you're gonna manage.
Oh, we always
you know?
do. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. It's part of the fun, right? It's part of the fun. It's raising up and increasing your genetic power every year. That's what it's all about. Making cool stuff.
Yeah. And I love how you said that earlier. I make the stuff that I want to, for the projects for the future. And if I don't make them, I go buy them. It's fucking, that's the key, people. Make stuff that you want. All these people say, oh, well, if I want to do this, should I make this? Because they'll sell really quick. If you're trying to make stuff to sell, you're not doing this right, people. You need to make stuff to make your collection better and stronger for the future. And whatever you can't make, or the genetics that you want that you don't have, you go buy it. Now you're stronger. And every 2 years when they breed or anything, like it's just exponential growth, and it is incredible. It's here's a guy, and I've said it many times, Corey DeLong. There's so many guys. Seth from DD Exotics. I always say you guys, because you guys went out and said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing this right. Let me acquire some great stuff. Let me see. And then years later, it's like, look what you're doing with the stuff that you bought years ago. It's fucking awesome.
It's nice to see, looking back, a few moves that I made, I think they panned out well, I mean,
and they're going to keep panning out year after year because they keep bringing you in income because they're bought and paid for, sitting there just,
Right.
People don't understand it. And it's like, you really got to learn, when to buy that right animal for and it's planning ahead.
Yeah, it's a game of chess. It's a way to look at it. I mean, it's you have to look ahead. And what you think is gonna be nice and what you want to produce, and I mean, you got to look at what everybody else is doing, and do you want to do that? And and then you got to make another. Like I said, the goalposts are always moving. You think you're going in one direction, and then. And then next year you change your mind. You might have the animals and think you're gonna do one pairing, but then somebody makes something and you're like, oh, those two genes are cool together, and I've got those two genes in my collection, but there's two more genes on top of that I can put with it. So it's not just guys like you and Justin and Ozzy that make these crazy combinations. It could be anybody that makes something and you're like, wow, those 2 or 3 genes really look nice together. And I've got that, and I want to make my own spin of that. And so you might try that pairing and try to improve on something that you saw. It's just everybody inspires. Whether it's larger guys, or the little guys that are coming up, like I was years ago. And, you see these guys and like the knowledge that's out there, it just helps them make good decisions earlier than you and I were able to do, 10 years ago,
Oh, 100%.
Social media has really improved and makes us stay on top of our game, So
here's another fucking monster in the chat that just came in. He's gonna be a fucking monster too. Joe from Empire State Exotics, and he said to you, Corey. He said, Corey breeds that fire.
I like fire, man, and literally, I like fire. So I've got a good stock of fire stuff. Whether it be mostly in clowns, but that's one of the first things that when I look at, I'm like, how would that look with fire? So I like fire stuff. A lot of people are afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. They always say, oh, you make a super, it's a white snake, well, just look, you had that super fire hat clown, right? You weren't afraid of that.
No.
I mean, what if that was a visual? Would you have been afraid to have that animal?
Hell no. I've had visuals. I ended up selling it. Somebody wanted it, but I actually had visuals. But do you know how many ivory clowns I have? pastel ivory clowns, leopard ivory clowns, pastel leopard ivory clowns. They don't look that great, but I'll tell you one thing. The shit that's coming out of them is going to be fucking wow.
Yeah.
Stand back. Everything's yellow belly, bitches.
Yeah, powerful.
You know,
powerful.
how can you tell? Because it came from a fucking ivory. None of this I
Right.
think it is. It possibly is. But
right. No guessing.
yeah.
No guessing. Yeah, I got a few, ivory pies hanging around. So yeah, be cool. Like to work with them myself. A couple freeway het pies. It's all good. I love the yellow belly complex, just like you do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And
it's fun.
yeah, yellow belly, asphalt. I'm like you. One day is gonna move away from the yellow belly stuff, and I've got 10 or 11 female clown combos that are asphalt clowns. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot of yellow belly stuff running through my place now. Eventually,
Right.
I'm gonna try to replace all the yellow belly with asphalt.
Right.
Not an
Right.
easy task by any means,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
look at all my freeway pies, my asphalt pies. I have a pastel freeway pied male that's been breeding a lot of stuff. I love it. But you look at the yellow belly pied stuff. I can't get enough of it. So eventually, if I can get that as asphalt, oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Just the next level. Always looking to, turn it up a notch every year.
So Joe from Empire States Exotics, this fucking monster, he's going to be a monster. I think next year he's got 200 fucking breeder females to go. Fucking monster. You know what I mean? Put this guy in a cage, He said, I meant everything Corey breeds is unreal crazy, out of this world, not just the fighter morph. So
Okay.
Earlier, he said
I
he breeds
appreciate it.
fire.
Yeah. We've done a little business. He's got some. I've seen what he's.
I understood what you
grabbing a
meant
hold
too.
of. He's making some big moves. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I love it. I love seeing it. Mike from Insane Clown Pythons.
Yeah.
Fuck. There's so many people that with the stuff that they've acquired and making,
Yep.
they cannot not do well. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean
Yep,
nobody
yep.
wanted that 6-gene freeway combo pied fucking head Ultramel? What the fuck? It's going to be nuts, some of the stuff that they, produce. But it's great because they've invested in it. They put the work in. They had a vision, and they're going after some of the stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
And this ain't going to happen overnight, people. No matter how much you have, how much you spend, it takes time. You need to build that. But if you you start now and start building it with structure and knowing what you're doing and when to invest and when to buy, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, you're going to sit there and wish you did it more and spent more and had more. That's just fact.
Do it as often as you can. You see that animal and it fits your needs, and that you need to pick it up. You need to pick it up, make it happen somehow.
Oh, here's Pipeline Python sitting here. I'm hoping to hit an ivory clown pied in December. Now that's an animal. I don't care how ugly it looks. I would want. You know what I mean? A fucking ivory clown pied. Come on. Oh, I think that actually might look pretty cool too. I never know.
Yeah.
You think that'll be an all white snake?
Well, it'll be mostly white.
Yeah, you might have some sort of.
It'll be cool.
But just the power of that, man, and that's the thing. You need
I
to.
believe there's some ivory clowns floating around out there.
What's that?
Billy has two.
I think there's some ivory clowns floating around out there.
Oh, I have a few.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Pretty
they're powerful for me. You know?
Right.
And then I've got a bunch of leopard, pastel leopard ivory, 66% het clowns. Got a whole bunch of stuff like that. Some of them are going to prove
Right. Yeah. Some of them have to. I back in the day when I started out, I was breeding het to het, when I started, and I just had an eye, and I'm like, this one looks a little bit different. I'm going to keep that, This one looks a little bit different. I'll keep that one. And, that they pretty much all of them proved out, there's just a different look about some hets, I mean, I'm sure you see it, and, sure other people can see it. And, I mean, when you're starting out and you can't afford everything, that's one way that you build your collection. You got to hold some of those pos hets and prove them out.
Yep.
Yeah. So, because not everybody is, as fortunate as some people. They can't go out and spend a ton of money. So, you have to hold back some of these pos hets and make it work for you. Everybody's got a different way to get to where they're
Correct.
going.
But they can all go there. And that's the thing. So many people think, I can only do this with money. No, you just need time. And you got to put the work in. But all those pos hets, if you put the right animal, and you're talking to a guy that had to hold back Asphalt/yellow bellies for fucking 8 years, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when I say, Billy just had it, no, I mean, I made a bunch of pastel Asphalt/yellow bellies, Mojave Asphalt/yellow bellies. I've held so much. Those are like possible hets to me because I wanted the asphalt, not the yellow belly.
Yeah.
So those are the same thing. So when I tell you, I know what it's like. Oh, no, you have all those high. No, all those Asphalt/yellow bellies. There's still some I'm fucking proving out. In 2021, and I'm still doing it. And to me, if you put the right male to any of those hets. Like if you have a 66%, a bunch of combo 66% het clown females, you grow them up, you breed a proper combo clown. If it proves, cha-ching, you're having amazing animals. And if not, you're making 3, 4, 5, 6 gene combo 100% hets. You can't lose either way.
No, you can't.
Right. You have to wait and grow them up. And people, it's a waiting game, people. But if you know where you're going and you set a goal, you go after it, you hold stuff back, put in the work, keep adding and keep doing what you're doing. 3, 4, 5 years later, you look back and you're like, what? How the fuck did I get here? Like, wow. And when you start learning things, you wish you did it earlier. Oh, I should have did that. If I knew this 5 years ago, we all say that. There's a lot of shit that I wish I knew earlier. Oh, my God. But it makes it fun too, right?
Yeah. It's, proving out those pos hats or, like you say, is this true of asphalt or yellow belly? I've got a couple of those that I held back, really just 2 or 3. I'm not sure what they were. They came from freeway pairings, but they're cool. I don't know what they are, but, they have Cypress in them. So I'll play with them either way. I like it, So, yeah.
Joe, he says, please don't talk about anything I don't have. Last live, I bought 4 double hets. The Ultramel clowns.
Are you Team Ultramel or Team Monarch?
Yeah, what do you don't have either, do you?
I don't. No, I don't. No, I just, it's not something that I've stepped into yet. I'm not saying that I won't. I think it's pretty cool, but as streamlined as my collection is, I just have to pick and choose, which projects I want to work and when I finally decide to move into a project, I think I do it calculated. I might see something that, like I've wanted to get into Sunset for a couple years and I just never did. And then I finally saw the right animal this year and I'm like, okay, that's the way I'm stepping into it, So, that's what I did. I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go with it if I did get one. But, then this year I saw a couple animals and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do, and, I'll work it from there.
Here's a super chat from Dawn from Pear Tree Pythons. Take it away, Austin.
Just hit 2 black pastel dreamsicles from a pied het lavender times a black pastel double het dream. Thanks, Austin,
Sick.
for making me buy that female years ago.
Awesome.
You're welcome, man.
Wow.
That's awesome, man. Black pastel
that's crazy,
dreams.
right?
That's so sick.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my dreamsicle stuff. I can't wait to get more Enchi into it. I just picked up a pinstripe dreamsicle, which I believe has Enchi in it also.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it. I mean, there's so much I want to do with it still.
Monsoon dreamsicle.
Yeah, Monsoon Dreams.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, and when you hit some of those, when you're gonna cut free a few females, you might want to, give me a give me a shout or something. Hit me up on Messenger, or Instagram, and say, hey, I got a couple of females I'm considering selling. Don't forget me.
Yeah, no, man. No, you've been good. I mean, all the animals that I got from you, they're all breeding, they're all doing well. I mean,
Cool.
That pastel pied het clown female is the one that I hit the first clown pied.
Okay. Nice.
But
Yeah, she was decent sized when I ended up letting her go to you. But I had some other girls that I was holding back, and was it one that I wish I had? I'm not sorry. I've got other ones, that I'm working with. So, it's a good move, and I'm glad to see you produce something cool with it, man. That's nice.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy. Yeah. And now my clown pied game's another level. It's like, all the stuff that I made and I've held back and I've purchased. Like, wow, I've got like four or five yellow belly pied het clown females that are ready to rock next year. The Enchi yellow belly clown pied, then I have the breeder clown pied. I got some more growing up. I've got so many super pastel leopard clown het pieds, pastel leopard clown het pieds, you name it. And I mean, I'm just going nuts with it. Like, I just love the clown pied stuff.
Yeah. It's really fun to see those things, pip out of the egg. It's just, you might see something white in there, and you're like, oh, anything white's cool, right? Because then you're just looking for that head stamp, right?
Yeah, that's the thing with me and Austin. It's like, I think it is. It's like, no. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's at least a pied. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure it'll prove. You see a little bit of the head stamp, just a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to fuck with it right now. And sure enough, we hit three in one clutch. So I was super happy there, but it's just awesome.
Yeah,
but,
I had really good odds that year with clown pied stuff, So I sold a good bit of it and bought some really key females that I needed, which is, I made stuff that I wanted. I kept back what I wanted, and what I didn't, I sold, and I bought stuff that I couldn't make, So, a lot of Orange Dream stuff, So, I don't have Orange Dream possibilities in my clown pies last year, So I bought some, and this coming year I have that possibility with a few females. So, I just wanted to up it, and so
I'm glad you're going that way too. Because in 2019, I made pastel super orange dream double het clown pieds. So pastel super OD, pastel OD fighter double het clown pieds, and they're probably 1,200 grams right now. And then this year, we just did a whole bunch. I took my pastel super orange dream clown, and I bred it to orange dream yellow belly pieds. So I've got a whole shitload. Like, I'm really banking on orange dream and super OD yellow belly Enchi fucking leopard clown pieds. Like, wow. Did you see that orange dream clown pied that was on, I don't know if it was Royal Constrictors, Garrick? I don't know. Someone had one for sale, and it sold. And it was just so nice. And it's just an orange dream clown pied.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine a super orange dream Enchi yellow belly clown pied. The thing is going to be ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. And then add some fire and yellow. Oh, it's gross. I love it.
Yeah. So I picked up orange dream yellow belly clown pied female and a super orange dream clown pied female. So.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah, I picked those up this year.
Super orange dream clown pied. I want to see that. Is it on your Instagram?
Probably, yeah, probably. I'll send you a picture later. I'll
Yeah,
post a
I
picture.
want to see that. Oh my god, because that's definitely, I'm like, wow, I love clown, I love pied, OD in both. You know, I saw how clown pied looked because I've had a clown pied in my collection since 2017, and I'm like, imagine adding orange dream to this and yellow belly, and now it's starting to come where I'm actually hitting them. Yeah. And I'm super excited.
I almost posted a picture today. My orange dream yellow belly clown pied, she just shed out, and today was like going through cleaning, and I was going to snap a quick picture, but I just I had other stuff going on, and then you hit me up about this tonight, and I was going out to dinner with my parents. We went a little bit early, and I just didn't take a picture, but she's not really a fun one to take a picture of. She'll take a piece of you before you get a picture, so she's always fun. I do the wide angle, and then I zoom in, and that's the only way to get a good picture of her without getting your hand taken off. But
that's awesome.
She looks really nice.
I love the project. I can't wait.
Yeah.
If we had a bad year this year, I was giving up on it, right, Austin?
Oh yeah.
I've had the last 4 years, 3 years has been horrible for me in this project.
Yeah.
So thank God this year,
We had this year, even in the beginning, you had like 2 clutches just mold out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At the beginning, then one was just all slugs.
Yep. I just
the first 3 clutches.
Yeah, the first 3 clutches of mine this year. I'm like, oh my God.
All clown pied.
So.
Well, I think yesterday I paired up for the second time. I've got an orange dream double head girl, and I was gonna put the Enchi clown pied to that, and I'm like, I just sit and look at that orange dream yellow belly clown pied, and I'm like, no, I've got a yellow belly clown that's head pied that I put in there so I can try to make, orange dream yellow belly stuff.
Yeah. Is that Enchi pied? Did you purchase that animal, right?
Yes, I did.
The Enchi clown pied. Yeah, 5 minutes before me, you fucker.
Yeah.
Remember that? Fucking guy.
That.
5 fucking minutes. Oh, sorry, your buddy fucking Corey just bought it. Like, motherfucker, 5 minutes ago. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. I fucking remember. I remember. Fuck.
Actually, I made one. So I actually have 2 of them now. So I'm gonna, I don't, you never know how long a male's gonna last, right?
That's right.
So, in case he doesn't want to work this year, I got another one that's, he'll go to work.
Yeah.
So,
that's so awesome, though.
Gotta keep your options open,
Yep.
But yeah.
But no, man, I mean, I'm so glad to see, like the stuff that you've been making and how you're progressing, and I can see how, like, you're in control of wherever you want to go. You can go big, you can stay where you are. You're building a little powerhouse army of stuff, and it just goes to show you don't have to have 300, 400, 500 fucking clutches, big facilities in order to do well. You don't.
You don't.
And I love that first question. Can you make a living off of 10 breeder females? Yes.
Yeah.
It depends on the females, though.
Yep, absolutely can.
Yeah,
absolutely
100%. I can guarantee it. I can prove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes to show what other people are saying. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't. No one buys high-end animals. It's only the big breeders that No one will buy an animal off you if you're not a big breeder. It's so much horse shit. It's like wow, and it's coming from someone that's never done any of it. Of course, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So.
The animals sell themselves, man. I mean, the people look at them and they sell themselves.
And how many more could you have sold? The ones that you sell right away, like you have 1 or 2 of. How many more could you sell on top if you had more?
Oh, yeah, I get messages. Are you making any more of those? I'm like, that was that was a once or twice a year animal, and no, I won't have any more this year.
It's nuts. I'll sell an animal right away, and next thing you know, I sell one. It's like I'll pull another one out because I have a few. I'll pull another one out. Next thing you know, I'm like, I don't have any more, and I got 5 more inquiries, and it's like, oh my God, I already taken the ad down.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, like by the time Morph Market, they promote our stuff. They'll put out a post, and say, hey, here's such and such from so and so, and I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a cool animal, and then you click on the link, and it says sold, you know, that's just how fast stuff moves. You know, it's crazy. You know, I mean, you know, it's great that people are making cool stuff, and it doesn't sit on the shelf very long. You know, so
yeah, no, and that's the thing, man. People are after the stuff because they understand that, hey, you know what? In order to keep your momentum moving forward and making some of this crazy stuff, you got to have the ingredients to make the crazy stuff. So
yeah.
But,
ingredients, you know, so it's all about whether you can make it or, you know, whether you have to acquire it somewhere else. You know, it's part of the fun, you know, so I don't know. How many more clutches do you have left to hatch out this year?
well, right now in the incubator, well, we got to put another one in. I think we got, what, 53?
Something like that.
53 still to cut.
I think gravid females right now are around like 45, 50.
45 or 50 gravid females, and we're still pairing like 175. Like, it doesn't stop. We're just like, this is going to be like, you know, it's, you know, we're rocking and rolling.
It changed your season a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, taking the 5 months off, but I wanted to make sure the animals, and that's the thing, like, you know, if I didn't care about my animals and I was just about, you know, the money, then I wouldn't have waited 5 months. I took 5 months. Like, hey, Austin, whatever's bred has been bred. Whatever's here at the old facility, it's staying until it lays. But we're not pairing, and we settled everything in, and we started pairing at the end of January. So, and I even told Austin, I've said, I'm like, you know what, dude, you know, I'd be happy if we can get 50 to 100 clutches, man. You know, like I was, you know, and we got them settled in. They acclimated to the new facility, the new racks, the new cocoa. We fed them, started getting them on, and started just, you know, getting them healthy, and not just like, oh, they ate once. Fucking put a male in. Let's stress them out. They just moved. You know, let's do this. And we just sat there and, you know, 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is good. They're great. Let's do this. We started ultrasounding. You know, we probably missed quite a few. But guess what? It's September, October, November. So the ones that we stopped, you know, they've already bred because they restarted, and the ones that we missed have already been paired. And, you know, that little hiccup, I'm sure we, you know, we did lose some here and there. But guess what? It was the first time my incubator's been turned off. You know, I've always had a clutch in or a clutch coming out for years. It's never shut off. It's the first time it's ever been shut off. But the health of my animals and having them situated and settling in, you know, it's great because look at the success we're having now. And I was willing to sacrifice a great season in order to build this, because this here's my future. And that's what people don't understand. I sacrificed an income or, animals to hold back, you know, in order to build this, to grow from here as the next level. And I took that risk, and it was worth it. Even if I didn't have a great season, I was prepared for it. But because I did it the right way, I guess, you know, I've never really skipped a beat, you know. So now it's, you know, it's great. My animals are healthy. They're breeding, and, you know, we got this awesome place to keep growing, and you know, it's awesome. I mean, everything we're doing, like, there's just so much more to come here. It's just like, oh my God, what's coming now? And I'm excited.
I would have never known that you, you know, skipped a beat. I mean, it certainly doesn't show in what you're posting or anything like that, you know. But so maybe you were there to experience it personally, but, you know, unless you told everybody, nobody would have known that you know, skipped a beat. You know?
It is because we used to do like daily videos, and then for like 3.5 months, we didn't post. We were trying to do a video a week, you know, and maybe, let's try to do one or two a week, or and there was nothing, and now we're back. But there's another surprise coming to YouTube, which might not be good for many people, but I won't get into that now.
Okay.
But, you know, William Sanford, my man from Visionary. You good? Might as well let you talk. I talk too much anyways.
What's up, everyone? Just wanted to drop in and state pure awesomeness going on in the podcast.
Awesome. Thanks, my man. Not only does he have great taste, he has a great fucking name. William, baby. Bam. So, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And,
No, man, I love watching you. Your energy is inspiring. You know, I don't know how people could watch you and not be inspired to, you know, do better and, you know, make some cool stuff, you know. I just, you know, you're one of the more energetic guys, you know, and I like to see that. I think you know, I'm a little more, you know, reserved and held back, but
no,
you know, I like
come
to see,
on.
yeah, I'm kind of, you know, just, you know, lay back, and I'm a pretty laid back kind of guy, you know, but I like to see, you know, guys like you out there that inspire guys like me to take the next step and go to the next level, you know, and, you know, my goal is just to do my thing, you know,
and that's amazing advice to anyone listening. You know? Listen to that over and over and let it sink in your head.
You know, you don't have to look at, you know, what Billy's made or what Ozzy's made or what Justin's made or what, you know, Garrett or whoever, you know, is made. Just, you know, have your own vision and, you know, make what you want to make. And, you know, guys like you and Justin and Ozzy and, you know, there's plenty of others. I say those names because you guys, you know, probably some of the big leaders here, but, you know, you guys inspire the rest of us to keep grinding, man, because we see where you guys were, we see what you guys are making, and we see how you guys support the community, and it's nothing but inspiring to guys like me and everybody else, man. So, you know, from where I stand, you know, we're really grateful for people like you.
Awesome, and I'm glad I can. Like I said, I mean, even with Austin, I mean, the stuff that, I mean, he knows more than anyone the shit that I've had to do to get here and the stuff that he's had to do to help and the team and everything else. I wouldn't be able to do half the shit if I didn't have the team, you know? But guess what? Yeah. The stuff I'm not doing, if I wasn't doing all the Patreon and all this other stuff, I'd be fucking back there working my ass off with like I used to. Now because I can rely on them, it gives me more freedom to do other shit, you know? Yeah. But guess what? I wouldn't have all this other shit if it wasn't for these guys, because I know I can fall back on them and stuff, and Austin's a huge part of this place, and, you know, so much more to come. And but he's seen the struggle that I've had to do. He's living it. Like, he knows, like, the shit he's building. Like, fuck, like, it's great. And now Elion, like, well, look at these fucking guys. Let me get a piece and doing it the right way. And, you know, we'll get Catherine coming aboard and, you know, learning and jumping and investing and doing things the right way. And it's just what we do. You know, success breeds success. And they know when I talk, because they see it happening. You know what I mean? Like, look at the pairings I do. Well, why the fuck would he make that? He could have made a bunch of pied shit. Yeah, but I can buy a bunch of pied shit. I can't buy double and triple fucking recessive. You know, that's what I'm making because I see the future. I need this shit, you know? And I say what comes out of my mouth is the exact same thing that I'm doing daily. And believe me, it works and it does well. You know?
Yeah, obviously it does well, right? Look, you know, I mean, you've been doing it and you're continuing to do it, you know? So yeah, people. And
I love seeing guys like you because, you know, so many people, nobody knows these people. You can't do well unless you're a big breeder. Man, the way you guys are doing it, man, it's fucking like awesome because you could get here in no time if that's what you wanted, but you choose where you want to be. But you're doing well for what you want and what you're doing. And nobody can take that away from you, you know?
No, man, it's, you know, it's a good place to be in, you know? I mean, it is really, you know?
No, it definitely is.
Yeah. I like it. It's really, it's exciting. I'm excited, you know, this year, and I'm more excited for next year, you know?
And the year after. I'm making shit that's coming out now that I need for a project from 2-3 years from now. And I'm excited, even though it's like just you know, nothing special, but I know the ingredients. Like all this triple recessive stuff that I've got. Oh my God. Like, you know, Billy, you know, calm down. It's a leopard yellow belly. Yeah, but you know what I'm going to do with this leopard yellow belly? With triple fucking head, like in 3-4 years from now? Holy shit. Like, that excites me. Knowing that the future is coming and what I'm building now for there. Because if you're not, you're never going to get there.
Right.
Got another super chat. Cole Wood. Take it away, Austin.
How often do you pair your females and males? How much rest between pairings for males? Love the podcast. Keep it up.
Yeah, so how about that? How often do you pair your males and females? So if you have a female, do you pair it like, once a month, every 3 weeks, 2 weeks? How long do you leave it in for? 3 days in, 4 days out? What do you do over there?
Basically once a month, if I stretch it any longer, I get a little bit nervous. I don't want a female absorbing or anything like that. We've all had that happen, So yeah, basically once a month, give or take a few days here or there, like I've got a few males in right now, and they'll go in next month, those girls are 18 millimeters, 17 millimeters, whatever they are, and, maybe next month when I check them, they'll be
26.
24, 25, and, maybe that'll be their last lock, I don't know. When I ultrasound them, I'll know. But yeah, basically once a month.
Yeah. And do you do the 2-3 days in, 4 days out, or?
I don't pair my males any more than once a week, so I'll leave a male in and, I'll leave him in for no more than 3 days,
Okay.
So yeah, I take them. I usually feed on Thursdays. During breeding season, we'll say feed on Thursdays. I'll pair on
Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay.
And then I will unpair on Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of my schedule. That I stick to, and once in a while I need to alter it. Going to Tinley, I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
So that's that 1 week out of the year, that doesn't change much, but everybody does that. You do shows, but you've got a crew. But for me, it's a little bit different. It's just me. So I'm not gonna I don't know. Will I throw some males in on Wednesday before I leave on Thursday? I don't know. Probably not. I'm not going to leave them in for 5 days. So, it might be a week that gets skipped, but that's okay. It's kind of in the middle of when they'd be paired anyway. So,
yeah.
Awesome. So it worked well for me. Back in the day, I did it differently because, somebody that I knew did it differently. And for me, it worked back then, but I don't know how my males made it through. It was a rough schedule for them, but I wouldn't do that these days. But, it's a little bit different of a routine back then. But yeah, I think once a week is fine. Or once a week. I don't put a male in any more than once a week.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Awesome having you on here, my man. I love it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the opportunity. It's
well,
great
you deserve it, man. That's the thing. It's like the stuff that you're making, like Joe said, it's fucking fire. I was lucky to get my hand on some animals from you, last year and the year before,
Yeah.
and I know there's still more shit because the last time I messaged is like, hey man, what about this? Oh, sorry, Billy, it already sold. Like, fuck, too late. I'm always, and that's the thing is like. Here's someone that's, not new, but they're not a huge breeder. They're not in the limelight. And here's the fucking guy that is, and I'm buying from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even years ago. And
Yeah.
it's like, fuck. It's like all these people, all big breeders don't buy from other people. And I don't understand where they get that shitty information from. You make awesome quality stuff that I need for my projects, and I'm not hitting it myself. I'm fucking buying it. Like,
Yeah.
That's how you play this game, man. If you can't make it, you got to buy it. And if you have a chip on your shoulder, I can't buy from someone that's not a big breeder, then you're a fucking idiot. And you're not good for this industry. And you're hurting yourself.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to sell to anybody, and especially, somebody like you, because, I know the power you've got over there, and you're going to make some cool stuff with it, and I'm going to be one of your customers again,
Yeah, and vice versa. Same shit. Like, I can't sell it to Billy because he's going to make better stuff than me. And so's the next guy you sell it to because we're doing different shit. Like, if you had that mentality, you can't sell animals because everyone's making amazing shit. You just have to breed animals and keep them all yourself because if you sold them, people are going to do awesome different shit. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? We cannot make enough.
Yeah.
Imagine breeding and not being, I can't sell it to this guy because he's got really good stuff. I can't sell an animal to Ozzy because he's got stuff. Fuck, who can I sell an animal to? You know what I mean? Like, if you got to sit there and think about that kind of stuff, I feel sorry for you. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Ozzy told me one time. He's like, man, I don't care. He said, I'll sell an animal to anybody. He said, they can try to, chase what I'm doing. He says, but, I'm going to shift directions. And, like he said, goalposts are always moving. Once you think you get to where you want to be, by the time you think you're there, you're going in another direction.
Yeah. It's always like that. And it always will be,
Yeah. That's what's exciting, So it's exciting that, being able to, make a move, change your plans. I go through and, I might be sitting here, watching TV later tonight. And after we talked, I might say, oh, wow, this pairing would look pretty cool. Well, I'll send a text to myself, and say, hey, go write this down, when you go out in the room later, tomorrow morning or whatever, and mark on this tub that you might want to make this pairing, It's just, I don't know, my mind works, when I start to relax at night.
Yep.
And, when I unwind and then, you get a clear vision and just relaxation, man. Everybody needs time to unwind and relax, and some fresh ideas come into your head, and that's the best time for me at night. I'll think of some ideas, and I'll send myself a text or make a note, or and then I go out in the room the next day, and I'll think about what I thought about the night before, and sometimes I'll mark it down and I'll be like, yeah, that is going to be cool. I'm going to try that. So
no,
you got to be creative.
100%, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great industry. I love it. I'm always going to be a part of it. And I want to see people do well. And, and it's not hard. You just got to put the work, keep learning, and be humble and enjoy what you're doing,
Yeah. Yeah. I love to see all these new people, like names that I've never heard, message me or hit me on Morph Market, and, like I'd never heard of them, but, they're, then I take a look at their Instagram or whatever, and I'm like,
wow.
Holy cow,
Look at some of the shit they got. It's fucking awesome.
I've never heard of this person, but, I need to buy something from them,
Yeah. You get excited for people. That's the thing. Back in the day, it's like, oh, this fucker got this. Oh, fucker, I can't do that. Oh, fuck. Like, well, it's so miserable, man. Like, I get excited seeing other people like, wow, that's an awesome animal.
Yeah.
But I was a little pissed when you beat me to that Enchi pie. Like, oh, fucking guy. But I was happy for you too, right? So,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still killing it, even though you didn't get that animal.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
But you need Enchi and clown pie all day long. That's number one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
And she's really cool. And she's cool. Yep. Definitely keep that pattern. And, everybody likes more pattern, I think. You don't get that high white animal, you keep pattern in it. That's why I saved back a male in case that male that I bought, in case he doesn't want to work for me this year. This will be his second year. But in case he doesn't want to work, I held another one back.
Smart, man.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. Cause it's just a key ingredient, for the project. So,
we're almost 2.5 hours in. We're going to call it a night. What we definitely, it does, man. Just shooting the shit about awesome stuff with awesome people.
Yeah.
But one thing that we always do is at the end of the night, we ask every guest to say Chad EAD.
Say that again?
Chad EAD.
Chad EAD.
That's it, baby.
Yep.
So yeah, it's one of our guys from Richie's Recessives. Okay. It's a thing. Yeah. It's stuck.
Yeah, he likes to eat dicks. So I tell him to go eat them.
See, there it is. See? So everyone's, so actually the only one person that didn't was Brittany Gobble.
Yeah.
She's the only one that didn't. Everyone else has. Even we had Brian Gundy do it. Yeah, it was awesome.
Cool.
So
but yeah, man, no, I really appreciate it. And, it's a good time talking. And,
for sure.
I love this community, the camaraderie that comes along with it. That's one of the best parts, along being able to do what we love to do. You know,
Yeah.
it's great making friends and meeting new people all the time, and you know, and it's an exciting part of it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and keep doing what you're doing. That's what I mean. Like, I love seeing how you've done it and how the last 3-4 years, how you're just like, and keep going. And you know, I'm afraid to see in 3 years, man. It's like, wow, look what he's done now. Like, it's just awesome because, you know, the sky's the limit. And, you know, I'm happy for you. And I think it's great. And I just, you know, I love bringing people on, you know, especially that, you know, are doing everything that us big breeders are doing and trying to tell other people, like, hey, like, here's the guy that's doing what we're telling you to do. And are you regretting anything? No, not at all.
Oh, no, it only, the only limit is your imagination.
Yeah.
That's the only limit that there is, you know, just as far as you can think, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, you just got to put your mind and think about stuff and
and enjoy it and learn and help.
Set some goals.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So,
but no, man,
and I really appreciate it, and you know, I'll look forward to talking to you again. Maybe we'll do another one sometime.
for sure. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to, you know, once, you know, in the new year, I'm gonna start traveling. I have to fucking, you know, come down to Florida, do the Daytona, and walk around there and you know, catch up. Finally meet you in person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't look forward to anything real fancy when you come here. You know, I mean, it's a really simple setup. So, you know, I mean,
hey man, simple works, man. I mean, that's the thing. People don't get it. Like, people think that, unless you have some huge conglomeration thing going on, you can't do it well. Hell no. Yeah. You know, there's people doing really well in small spaces. You know,
simple works. Yeah. I mean, I could have kept this in a bedroom, you know, and done fine. But you know,
it feels good, an accomplishment too. Like, you're moving forward and you got more space, and it's just, it's such a great feeling. Like, I love everything we do here. The little stupidest thing that we do here. It's like, oh my God, I love it. I get so excited. Just a little change, you know?
It is. Yeah. One little change. It's exciting, you know?
It's progress, moving forward. But have a great night, man. I appreciate you coming on, and keep doing what you're doing. And I can't wait to see those last 2 fucking clutches. Hurricane clown shit. My God.
Yeah.
I'm fucking jealous.
After, that'll be hopefully the highlight of the season. You know,
I bet.
Hopefully, the last 2 clutches, the Hurricanes. So looking forward to it.
Have a good one, everybody. We out. Peace.
Remember about Ultramel? I'm just joking.
Bye, guys.
Ultramel. All right, see you, man.
My channel. My channel. My content. My channel. My content. My channel. My content.